thought open because I really want an inexplicable feminist agenda.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Topflight West.
Excellent.
It wasn't me for once.
My name is Philip, and I am the publisher of this game. And surrounding me
These nuts.
is what remains of Topflight West after an exit has rocked the roster due to the events of the power surge.
Shattered the standings.
Yeah, shattered the standings. That's not an untrue way of saying it. I will actually even try to keep an eye on chat and players who can do this. We are experiencing some or on my computer there are some minor sound issues. So hopefully everything winds up being okay. And but if there are problems, just let us know and we'll try to adjust.
Well, you know, Philip, as long as no one under the age of 18 enters the chat, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you say that and that makes me like real worried that we can't police that, so they will. And just corrupting more youths, which is just I need to stop doing. We have a lot of fun for you guys tonight. This is the sort of follow-up to the major event that was just started 2 weeks ago in Formation Nation #1, when we learned that heroes and villains from all over, not only the world, but like across many planes of existence, are experiencing unexpected surges in power. It doesn't matter whether their power sources are supernatural, biological, technological. Just something is pumping everything up in a crazy way. Are
Hans and Franz behind this?
Now they are. That's a great idea. Oh man, I should totally do that.
No, I think it should be Laugh Track. Laugh Track should be behind us.
Track. There's a lot of talk about how we need to have a supervillain named Laugh Track who brings
there
the
isn't.
Laugh Tracks from.
No.
Well, I mean, I will say there is a lot of talk. KJ does not approve of the talk, but it's been
A lot of talk. It was just like 10 minutes ago, and
a lot of talk. People are saying. A lot of people are saying. I don't know. We'll see what is at the root of all of this. However, there is something I'm going to do tonight that I forgot to do during our Monday game, where we did our little hold fast hall minute, but in the interest of seasonal appropriateness,
Ooh.
I'm going to start opening, because now I'm going to start opening the Winter Wonderland adventure calendar. Now that it's summer.
did you get that last winter?
Also, guys,
or is that something you got recently?
I'm drinking. Yeah, I got it last winter. I'm drinking blue milk, and somebody didn't put the cap on the blue food coloring well enough. So, apologies for my. It looks like I hit myself with a hammer.
Yeah, Philip, show us those fingers a little more.
It just looks like you've been playing with like
Blue
thumbtack.
milk.
So you're
you just
blue.
blew yourself.
I
you did
blew
blue.
myself.
If you were green, you would die, though, right?
Oh, that's not even what the song said.
Blue. If I were green, I would die. I'm the king of the sky. If you've also heard that one.
Ooh,
heard
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
blue,
that's
and
a
I'm
good-
the king of the sky.
I
and
thought it was
the-
I'm in need of a guy.
Listen, guys, I think what we're learning is that it was a lot of different things. You know,
Just like lemon and a pear, Squidward on a chair. Like
What the actual
living-
fuck are you saying?
living on a prayer.
Oh my
Like-
god.
guys, this opening one is pretty cool here. Our opening one is a D4. Now this is it's a little kind of squiggly. Or
It matches
blocky.
your finger.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It
It's a sort of
does.
like icy thing, but I think it is like a snow fox.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ooh, ooh, oh,
Roll number
I
one.
like that.
What, you're a fan of snow
Is that a
foxes?
better browser?
yes.
Roll the 1. It's a really good browser, yeah. Forget Firefox. But with a snow fox, it chills your web pages to a frost sheen. So that'll be my new policy. I get an extra villain die of whatever I roll, or what I open. So I have an extra D4.
What?
There's no way
Sure.
that could be good for us.
That's fine though. There's 4 of us.
For now.
Oh no.
There used to be like 10 of us, though.
Yeah,
Actually,
or
it
or
used to
thousands
be-
of
no,
us.
Yeah, you have lost 9. You lost 9. There used to be 13 of you. But now, here, speaking of which, I guess I should bring up all your,
We still got Synth Devil, though. What else do we need?
Yep. Hey, wouldn't it be funny if something, Synth Devil power surged? That would be funny, right?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, we'd all have a nice laugh about that, right? Yes, basically where we left off is that you, upon having like a meeting with all of a big Flight Infinity meeting at Topflight Tower, which you cruised over in Top Sauce, your new flying saucer. You guys, you went with V to Null Island, where kind of to check on Meridian. V went hog wild, duplicating. It was a lot. There are now over 10,000 of her. They don't seem to be resorbing. Her power nature has changed. But you guys cannot. I mean, you are all welcome to check in with V and on our monthly Formation Nation series, which these players can come in if they're available, etc. But for now, the world still needs Topflight West. And because of the craziness of what's going on, jurisdiction is outside the window, forget who's on West Coast, who's got East Coast, you guys just need to handle wherever things are. You heard of a few areas where some, let me go, sorry, I have to go to the other sheet. This is where the thing is. You heard of some places where some other heroes were kind of going crazy. A lot of Team Tomorrow out in space. They have gone wild, as well have Radiating Chapel. You know that the Dinosaurian, Ghostman, the Hoboken Witch, and Meridian, they've all gone big. But the heroes, while sometimes things can happen because of it, the real problem is the villains. You heard of villains who have gone powerful. Unbeknownst to you, you guys did witness Heartless Love turning into a full-on Oni, so that's a thing. But you also know that Baskerville is now seems to be a were hellhound. You know that Radiating Chapel has gone wild, and you know that Steeplechase has taken over Barnum City and has created a huge illusion, and also that Star Shadow has taken over a 10-mile radius area in Florida. So there's a lot going on. So you guys will have to decide which of these things you want to sort of look into and where you want to start with your both investigations and... Because this is a situation where you kind of two things you have to do. You have to both deal with the problems of this. You have to put out various fires, but you also have to figure out what's going on to maybe prevent future ones. So with all that in mind, I just realized a fundamental problematic flaw of V leaving the team, which is there's no tiebreaker for the following.
Oop.
That means chat could break the tie.
Chat, you shall break the tie. So, your options of what scene you'd like to see to start with. You can either see Toucan Beach, Florida, or the moors of Sedgley, the United Kingdom. Toucan Beach in Florida. Who you will be witnessing is going to be pretty clear. There's going to be the darkness of Star Shadow will probably be Toucan Beach, Florida, and the dangers of Baskerville will probably be in the moors of Sedgley. I'm giving you more of a hint than I typically do. It seems Lumen is voting 2, Armament is voting 2.
I just try to never go to Florida.
I think it's also 2.
Oh.
I think I want to. It's a Hound on the Moors kind of night.
We know Baskerville is sexy, so I want to see that.
Baskerville, that's true actually. Ooh, I wonder if this means Baskerville's tag changes. Or maybe she's still sexy. Alright, then we will
tastefully torn clothing.
I mean, look, if we say Baskerville isn't sexy, look, Philip, if we say that Baskerville in her werewolf form isn't sexy, then we are marginalizing the entire furry community.
Oh my god.
I'm comfortable with that. With that, we will cut to a foggy night in jolly old England, love, where 4 figures are running for their lives across the moors. Flashlights bouncing as they go. One stumbles, another tries to help them up. A third is shouting into their communicator. Come in, command. This is Fiat member. Can anyone? Something's jamming our comms. 3 members of Fiat, which is the Flight Infinity Agency team. Flight Infinity Agency team. That's the it's kind of like your shield is Fiat. 4 of these sort of like jumpsuited like paramilitary members are like trying to run. One of them has a horrific gash on their chest from like a claw wound, and the wound is glowing from the inside with like a hellish fire. They're I don't feel good. Just go. We gotta go. Command, can you hear? Command. And then they hear the baying of a hound of hell. They all pause, drawing their guns. Almost as if appearing from the fog itself, 4 hellhounds. These, big kind of like hellhounds are like the size of like Dobermans. They're pretty big. They're like, or even bigger than that. Like, what's the biggest dog?
Like mastiffs.
Yeah, perfect. They're mastiffs. These like slightly bigger than mastiffs. These dogs, just like
oh yeah.
Like, and these 4, they all kind of curl their noses in fear as sulfur, the smell of brimstone, the smell of hell, is kind of overtaking them as these hellhounds are moving towards them from the dark. They open fire. The hellhounds sort of move. Bullets seem to impact the hellhounds, but don't do as much damage as one would expect they should. One of the hellhounds leaps onto one of the agents, and look, Fiat members they know what they're doing. This one's like pulling out a knife and trying to cut across it. A Fiat member against a hellhound, that could be an okay fight on an ordinary night. But then the baying continues behind them, and cresting the hill framed by the moonlight is this massive 7.5 foot tall but still incredibly sexy
Yes, let's go.
Were hellhound. She still wears her like Red Riding, not Red Riding Hood, but like she had like the red like equestrian coat. She still has that on, but now it's like popping out, and these just like really serious wolf boobs have like whatever. The point is, I don't know. He said sexy. This is what we're getting.
Wolf.
Are there
wolf
multiple
boobs?
of them? Yeah, there's like a bunch.
Exactly where we're going now.
Oh god, basketball, so many boobs now. But as she kind of bays and like just again and somehow she makes the smell of sulfur hot. The point is she's just like she's kind of just turning and the hellfire is radiating off of her. They all sort of swoon. One of the Fiat members turns, fires a gun, but Baskerville in her new form is too powerful. She leaps down, jaws open, and clamps onto the member's jugular, thrashing her once or twice before the woman falls dead. And then, as the others watch in horror, the hellhounds closing in on them, Baskerville seems to absorb the life force of this woman, this former agent of Fiat, or this former member of Fiat. You don't say agent of Fiat because agency's in the title. So it's the Flight Infinity Agency team. They're team members, like at Target. The point is, as she drains her life force, the others, in terror, realize that she gets a little brighter in her hellish glow.
A little hotter?
A little hotter, literally and figuratively. It seems that consuming the life of her victims is empowering Baskerville, the were-hellhound, the sexy were-hellhound. Oh my god, the variant covers of her like one-shot spin-off of Power Surge are so gross. They're like so, it's like she's in that
exclusively
pose.
drawn by Liefeld.
Yeah,
exclusively drawn by Rob Liefeld.
Well, or like she's in that pose where, did you guys see the one of Spider-Woman where she's bent in such a way where you see her boobs and her butt, and it's like that, like why?
No, and yeah.
She doesn't have a spine.
No,
But
I
in
haven't.
this case, it makes
Who
sense.
drew
because-
that? Just for out of curiosity. No,
I actually think that might be a
I'll send it.
Liefeld cover.
I'll send it to you later. It's not. This one is not. It's by it's a European artist. I'll send it to you later, Dan, for research. It's fine. The point is,
I have the link so I know to stay away from it.
yeah. I link all of the hottest art. Well, anyway, if I'm done being a sleazebag, we will cut away.
Probably not.
So I guess that's the stream then.
That's the stream, everyone. Good night. Go check out that super sexy pictures of oh my god. So anyway, yes, from this we will cut away from the moors of Sedgley in the UK, where Baskerville gets 4 more doses of strength and hotness.
No, I did not expect you to say doses. That's all.
Well, it's every time when it's a dose. I don't know what to tell you. The point is,
Every time she's what?
every time she consumes someone, it's like a dose of extra power.
That's just fine. I thought she was gonna 4 more of something else. That's all. Continue.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, every time she eats one another boob. How many boobs would a wolf have?
I think they have
8
8.
nipples? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good for her.
I feel sorry for her
If they're,
back.
It's a,
I just mean, if
doesn't
she
even have a
has
spine,
like
it's
wolf
fine.
boobs and they're big, that means that she needs to feed pups somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think all the hellhounds are that she
She is.
summoned?
She is
Really
negligent.
fucking not. Oh my god.
no. Oh no.
Oh boy. I don't like where this is going.
This road is
I've never regretted not
is
being
good. I hope you're happy, Dan, because we had to
Yeah,
keep
you
it
guys
sexy,
could've-
and this is where it's led us.
Could have gone to Florida. Florida would have. It's shockingly Florida would have had 8 fewer boobs.
so we made the right choice, is what you're saying.
We cut to Top Beach. Top Sauce is prepped and ready to take off. The 4 of you have been reviewing files on all of the power surges that have been happening, but you are trying to determine what is the right move for you. What is the place that you should go? Synth Devil has been providing you data. Captain Eldritch, she's being... It's close at hand. She has been quiet. Not unusual for her. She's just, she's basically kind of communing, thinking things over. She is occasionally will say, there's been this mystical incursion or this, supernatural sort of things. So the question kind of comes to you all based on what's going on, based on the information. Obviously, I'm sure you can make many questions and look things over to do it, but the question becomes, what would you like to do? Where would you like to start? There are other, villains that have gone crazy with this stuff that we haven't even listed. Obviously, the biggest thing, or the biggest 2 things in terms of like populations affected, would be Florida with a Star Shadow, and would be Steeplechase in Barnum City, Missouri. Those are sort of that's where the most people are impacted. Steeplechase, it's more of an illusion-based thing. Star Shadow is there's somewhere there might be a black hole forming in Florida.
That seems like a more pressing matter.
It's a thing, but the point is, you guys can also follow like Topflight can go handle any of these. There are local things everywhere. Baskerville, there are reports of Baskerville now in the UK. Like Synth Devil will even mention, it does seem that Baskerville's Hellhound form has destroyed more Fiat members who were there on routine wellness checks for the area. I do think that her hellish power is impressive and must be looked into sooner than later. Oh yeah, and by the way, I forgot.
Oh, did we get the mini?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
great.
adorable.
Oh!
I didn't have horns, but his hands are flame. Anywho, so he is definitely saying it might be wise to stop the Hellhound before
Perhaps
she
we should
becomes
go.
more powerful.
Well,
we should
I'm
go
just.
to the location that has the most potential casualties.
It's exactly
The highest
that's
number of
exactly-
potential casualties.
Yeah, agreed. That's exactly what I was going to ask. If there's been, we currently have a slew of casualties somewhere, or
There are casualties reported in Florida, where Star Shadow's influence is gaining. We are not entirely certain everything that is going on within the darkness. Fiat members who have made initial incursions have not reported back. I would say that the most people affected would be those in Barnum City, but we do not have reports of casualties. Steeplechase seems to be toying with everyone. She is not... For all we know, there could be a huge number of people already dead in Florida.
I mean,
Whisper will say.
that sounds pretty normal.
So a Tuesday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We could maybe see how this black hole runs for a little bit. No, fine. We'll go to Florida.
Okay. And again, like I want you guys to have the understanding that if you would rather go to the thing that you think might provide the most clues about things, or if you want to do any research first on various stuff, or if you just want to go hang out with the Hoboken Witch, like you are free to do that. There are other agencies who will go to places. Synth Devil will. If anybody brings up the Hoboken Witch, even though this only happened in a universe you guys sort of know about, but like she still hits on him here, Synth Devil will say, if we're choosing the Hoboken Witch, I am going to the UK. I would go check out Baskerville.
You are absolutely not going near Baskerville alone.
No.
Then come with me.
Oh.
I gotta tell you, Synth, you can't do this when we're talking about Baskerville anymore, I don't think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is anyone still watching? Do we have viewers?
I think everyone left.
Everyone's out.
Actually, I literally see a tumbleweed going through the chat right now.
Yes,
I mean,
but in all,
the most pressing.
it's the most. If you guys want to do the most pressing and just kind of like gain clues there and continue on, absolutely. You can either have Teleportia teleport you.
Well,
Yeah.
remind me of what. Like, do we remember what the specific directive was that was given to us by Topflight?
I mean, the directive is obviously save as many people as we can, prevent more casualties, get a lock on this. But it is also understand what's going on. That is the main directive: is figure out what is causing this.
Yeah, I think we should go to where the most potential casualties are, and then hopefully we can get clues from that. And if not, as we get the most dangerous ones out of the way, we can start
Makes sense.
picking and choosing some more.
Lumen, are you going to be I'm not questioning your abilities here, but we are going to be possibly dealing with a black hole from which light cannot escape. Soul
It
from
is
the darkness.
powerful darkness.
One of the most powerful darknesses, right?
I don't know that there's a stronger force in it.
Not Lumen asking, is it? Because I know there's a type of darkness that actually is her weakness, versus a type of darkness that she can just fight against, right?
Make
So-
a magic arcana roll for me. Which for you I think is embarrassingly high. You have a real
Yes. Wait, when I have expertise, I forget. What does that mean? Do I get to roll advantage?
it's already been applied. It's just you
Okay.
you are
Thought I got advantage.
it is basically giving you double your modifier on
So that is a 16 plus 12. So 28.
a 16 plus 12, 28. Would you like to throw any hero dice on top of that to just be preposterous? You don't need to, but
Yeah.
cool. All right,
Not in this moment.
with a 28, and you're standing next to Captain Eldritch and Synth Devil, but you are sort of saying some magical stuff that they're both kind of doing. They're both either doing this or like just everyone's on board with what you're up to. You know that your magical light can get out non-magical darkness. Star Shadow is not a magical hero. She is galactic, so there may be a point where it you know, basically it wouldn't shock you if you get to closer to the heart of this place, it would be bad. But like once you start going through like the dark, there's kind of like imagine there's like a big like black dome that is just like enveloped like miles and miles of Florida, like with like a 5-mile radius. So once you start entering that, you can probably light your way a bit, but it's possible that towards the end, the galactic power of Star Shadow may be competing with your magic. Like it may be more, you know, so that would be your guess.
But it's not my weakness.
If you get hit with it, it will be your weakness. If you are like, if anyone like deals you shadow damage, it's your weakness for sure. But provided you can get light going on, you're not going to be suffering any scary brain stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the worry, but I must go where the danger is. I will be sure to properly protect myself and the civilians there.
All right. Then I guess we take a top sauce. We portals are getting us there.
I think we should fly there with the ship. That way we have, we have multiple options.
Sure.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
fair.
Great. Then into Top Sauce you go, and just in the next panel, you guys are landing at the Fiat, like if anybody saw WandaVision, you know how there's like a shield thing like right outside this, like that's the vibe of what's going on. So you guys do fly up and you see from space there's like a giant just like black dome covering Florida. Probably goes almost like a half-mile high, if not higher than that. It's like a bit, you guys land. Go ahead.
Do they drive Fiats? Are there just a bunch of Fiats all around parked nearby?
Fiat members should probably all drive Fiat. They have a sponsorship deal with Fiat. That's really fun. But basically, they're all like, well, that also like goes with these sort of, because they are supposed to be a shield pastiche, which is, so if they're in like Fiats and Minis in that sort of Italian job sort of way, that it's very like, ooh, cool European Countess Contessa.
Yes.
So basically, you guys land your flying saucer next to some kind of like some like Fiat planes and things, and there's an area sort of set up. If you guys and obviously Synth Devil would have sent word that Shotgun Florida, and so other teams aren't also coming here. That being said, as you guys get off, there are various Fiat members are just like, oh yeah, that's serious.
Don't worry, we come in peace.
Yeah, they're oh, I get it, because the flying saucer. Man, we all need to laugh right now. Cause, yeah, I that's a funny joke, because we've all been having to indulge in some very dark humor.
That's good one.
Sorry, I apologize. I'm not supposed to look you guys in the eye. I know. Sorry, and just walking away.
What? Who said?
Who said what?
Who said that?
Our managers say we're not supposed to look the superheroes in the eyes.
What? That's rude.
What?
I mean, only the ones that will actually harm you to look at.
Some Fiat member says, sorry, that's something we tell the new people because we don't want them gawking at you guys. There is, however, I guess we should let you know, there haven't really been too many developments, but there is we do have there is a flight hero over here. He's somewhat local. He's kind of just do you guys know Bloodstar?
We met him, right? Did we meet?
I think you guys. Who do you think Bloodstar is? Because I feel like you did, but I couldn't find it in the thing. Yeah.
Wasn't he like one of the? Oh my fucking!
The name is ringing a bell.
Yeah,
I cannot.
Yeah.
I think.
Did we just
Didn't he,
talk about him?
Was he like really violent?
Yeah. I think
he's like one of those guys. Yeah.
I think you never fully met Bloodstar, and I did look up, and I don't think certain things about him were sort of stuff. But so we will say that you guys are all familiar with Bloodstar. He is on a superhero team called the Soldiers of Fire, and for longtime comic book fans, Bloodstar is a riff on the Deathstrokes and the Deadpools pre-Deadpool becoming a joke. He is basically he wears like an all red, it's like, you know, like a red mask, like morph suit mask with like two eyes, and he's in like, you know, very like combat looking stuff in kind of just like reds and kind of grays, but on his back he has basically it is a star. It is a 5-pointed, just killing machine where he can just put it into all sorts of different modes. So it has bayonets that can stab people. It can spin around. He can fly on it. It can shoot machine guns from all 5 points. He also has machine guns that he shoots and a lot of knives. He is definitely a different kind of hero. But, you know, Flight Infinity understands sometimes you do need the guy to go, you know, to go kill the stuff. But he is sort of standing at the edge of this darkness. Just kind of you know, a few feet away from it.
What do we know about him, like his work history or his behavior?
He is definitely someone who gets in fights with other heroes more often than other there's if you look at the index of who before eventual team ups first, you know, shoots each other, he's high on the list of people who get into fights with other heroes.
Yeah.
Recently, there's been less of that since he joined Flight Infinity as one of the Soldiers of Fire. I'll tell you what, though. There's some stuff that's related to things that you guys might have been looking into, and you were looking into in the other thing. So armament, I'm going to let you make. You can try either a culture or a history, maybe. Or even a use computers, and if anybody else wants to sort of assist with this is basically the idea of what research you guys might have done. I don't want to say which other thread this is a part of, but if you sort of roll high enough, we'll say that in your research into things you might have found out something else.
Can I do either investigation or insight?
Why don't you do an investigation? Armament, why don't you do...
I mean, culture, investigation, and use computers are all the same for me. So
hit me that.
I'm gonna use my hero D4 to
I love it.
see if I can.
I'll take history.
That's a
then.
1, so I don't get it.
24.
24, okay.
19.
24, 19. Findon, Teleportia, are you gonna do one as well?
I did a 13, so
13,
I
so
don't
kind of,
think.
yeah, not- sure.
Yeah.
16.
16. Lumen, you won't have any further details, but I'll give you with a 24 and kind of with no just preposterously low rolls. I'll say that in looking into matters, this is something here's what it is. You found this out, you never looked further into it. And I think this might have been when you last heard about Bloodstar, in fact. Bloodstar is notable for some things that you were looking into in another world and another timeline. He is the result of Project Dynamo.
Right, that's it.
Oh.
You know, Achilles, various other people, you know, Baron Darkness, people who were sort of experimenting at Cradle Island. He was one of those. But I'm going to say to Lumen with your investigation, here's the little secret thing. Perhaps this is why you never asked him about it or didn't go into it. Bloodstar, as far as you can tell, is the only willing participant in the process. Actually, you think you knew that already? That sounds familiar.
That seems familiar.
That seems like a thing you guys might have found out. Bloodstar was kind of he was a, you know, mercenary guy. He did it. So with that, you know that in addition to his insane combat suit that he has, that's not the powers. The powers are healing factor and absurd combat, just enhanced speed, enhanced fighting, enhanced, you know, you do not want to go one-on-one with Bloodstar. That's the deal. He's just a cool fighter guy, and he heals real quick. But right now, he is staring at the darkness, looking intense.
Probably announce ourselves and not sneak up with someone who has
Oh,
5 machine guns on their back.
Before we go, I just I asked whichever agents or or whichever members, and you're how long has he been here?
He came. I guess he's been here about an hour or so. he just pulled up on a motorcycle, but the motorcycle was like full of bullet holes. It was weird. He just.
I don't believe we're here to kill. What's her name? Shadows.
Star Shadow. It is, and also I do apologize that you have Bloodstar and Star Shadow. Yeah. Sometimes it's what happens, guys. It's a Star Showdown, baby.
Yeah, comic books have never had problems like that.
No, they really have not.
I don't believe we're here to kill Star Shadow. I feel that he may be a bit extreme for our goals here.
He probably could be. And if you guys, and I'm sorry, I might have to do one quick, sound issue. I think it's okay. Yes, you certainly, that is a very logical thing you might be saying upon seeing this gentleman nearby. Bloodstar is definitely it brings a different energy, but he's standing there. If you guys are approaching slowly, Armament?
Yeah. Also, well, if we're gonna go over and talk to him, I'm just gonna detach the Guardian and just send it to do like a sweet, like, just do a scan of the area, like see what else I can pick up.
Sure, Journeyer's doing it. You notice as the Journeyer moves, like one of the 5 things, which are kind of like resting. So it's like it's like he has a starfish on his back, basically.
Yeah.
And like one of them just kind of like it's like tracking along with the Journeyer as it flies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
So I guess we go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Bloodstar. Where's the rest of your team?
Scorched Earth is dead. He turns around. I had to kill him. Power surge nearly took out half of Tampa. He was burning people in the streets. Couldn't control it. Went to his head. Then my bullets did.
Was knocking him out not an option, perhaps? Putting him into a medical coma of some
You don't know
kind?
Scorched Earth. He was able to burn. Didn't matter if he was conscious or not, as long as his heart was beating. The flames were roiling.
Is that actually true, or?
You can make a culture roll to see if you happen to know.
So, do we know off the top of our heads, do we know the other members of his team?
Make a culture roll. If not, you could just pretty quickly, find them.
9.
You think the Soldiers of Fortune may not or Soldiers of Fire, sorry. They don't necessarily have it's not like a huge membership and people went in and out. You believe that Scorched Earth and Bloodstar were like the main two. There was also a girl named Smolder, or the Smolderette or something, or like Smolder Baby. She had different names, all variations on Smolder. Yes, Lumen.
Did she?
Oh, sorry,
did
you were
she
just
always, Did she always smolder? Like,
I mean, yeah, she was. They all had a lot of fire plays on things, But
Okay.
as far as why don't you make it? Wait, did you make a culture roll?
well,
already?
I did a 18.
18. That doesn't sound inconsistent with Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth was definitely like a pyro type,
And it's not just Bloodstar, right? It's like they're as a team, they're kind of violent.
They are definitely a team that is set to do, they're like a more of a wet work type team.
A little more Suicide Squad.
Yeah, sure. We're Suicide Squad, or more
okay.
like X-Force. If you're familiar with
For sure.
or X-Men stuff. They're kind of you send them into like you'd also and where they might be more fully sanctioned, you probably send them if there's a demonic incursion. You just send them to just go it's like no, kill all those monsters. They're like, yeah, got it. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. But he seems very upset because he just killed Scorched Earth.
Sure.
Okay.
And the others? They dead too?
No. Smolder Baby's MIA. Ever since that last fiasco. I don't want to talk about it.
Do we know what he means by that last fiasco?
You've seen various report like this. It's like he's referring to like some other comic.
Yeah.
It's not. This is not your comic. Like,
Okay.
whatever. The point is,
Everybody else quit on me. Picked a hell of a time, too, after these power surges starting. There's gonna be a lot more dead, and we're just standing here. Are you
Yeah, we
here
gotta figure out what's going on
Are you
here.
here to go in? Are we going in?
Let's start before
Oh.
we do go in. I
We
have
are
to
going
ask
in.
if your plan is to simply go in there and kill Star Shadow.
My plan is to save lives. My plan is to do the things that the heroes in capes can't handle. I won't kill anyone if I don't have to. But I can kill. And I will.
Well,
if
Just
I
a-
have to.
None of us are wearing capes, so I do believe that by your rules we do qualify
We
to handle
we
the
are
situation.
capable.
However, I would like to ask that we don't immediately try and kill Star Shadow. I think we could try and merely just knock her out and maybe put her under some kind of stasis, maybe.
I'll give that a shot. But if it's anything like Scorched Earth, being unconscious doesn't stop this new level of power she possesses. Are you prepared to do the hard thing? It's easy to have a code when everyone's playing by the rules, but this power surge, it's changing the rules.
Well, it's harder to stick by a code when the rules are changed, so
Exactly.
we already do the hard thing.
We remember our time in the dream world, right? That's like the curse of it all.
yeah,
Like, okay.
yeah. Oh, you guys remember? Oh, does armament remember? Does armament remember?
Just a quick point of one additional point of clarification. Like, what's your rubric for having to kill? Like, how quick is that on your solutions of problems here?
If I don't kill and someone dies, some innocent, some weak, soft, innocent dies, then I kill. But I do think many times death is too good for these monsters. I have no problem shooting both kneecaps out, dragging him in to rot in a cell.
Look, I know what we do is really important, Bloodstorm, but I feel like you really should like take some time off. You know,
You want
Just,
me to take
relax.
time off during this power surge?
kinda maybe. Seems like it's maybe like one of the worst environments for you.
He's just kind of like silently, like staring back. Are you telling me not to follow you in there?
Well,
Heroes of Topflight. Get the
What?
job done without getting their hands dirty. Let's see how well that works for you when your body's crushed like you're inside a black hole. You have no idea what you're walking into in there.
we rarely have any idea what we're walking into.
That's the difference between you and me. I always know. Every day, every step. Getting closer
So
and
what-
closer to my death.
So what's on the other side of this then?
Death.
I like this
Um,
guy.
Lumen is gonna take extra care that when we get in there to find like all the civilians to the side and make sure that they
Yeah.
don't get
yeah.
hurt, so that he doesn't just immediately kill.
Well, do we
Shadow
do we
Yeah,
want
I'm
this
gonna
guy to
start.
come Do we want this guy to come
Tracking.
with us?
I don't think
I'd
us
rather
saying no
not.
is going to do a thing.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
we bring him with us. We bring him with us so that we
Keep
can
an
at
eye
least
on him.
keep him
Okay.
close to us and keep an eye on him. Also, this guy is like the Soldier of Fortune, but remind us everything that's cool about the Soldier of Fortune.
But plus a blood star on his back.
And I can potentially try to teleport him away if something really drastic happens, right?
Yeah.
Like it just
You definitely can.
I just go I just
You
use
can-
the nope portal, like
Yeah.
nope.
He's like just so angry. He comes in to kill her with this like angry star thing, and he just is suddenly stuck in a tree. I just
Damn it, the old tree trick. I should have seen to this. Sorry, squirrel, but you might kill soon. I feel better.
All right. Guess you're part of the team temporarily.
Lucky me. Do I get my badge and cape, Captain?
But none of
we
us
don't have
a
badges,
cape.
wear
and again,
capes.
none of us wear
Yeah,
capes.
none
I,
of
I
us.
don't
Whisper
even
is
what
kind
I
of-
wear doesn't even really
Whisper and
qualify.
Sense Devil
I
in the back
guess-
there like
yeah.
Would that make
What
you
about
feel
those
better?
two?
Is that the hole in your heart? Is that it doesn't have a badge over it? Because we can get you a badge if that's what the
No,
whole
I
thing
don't want
is.
a badge, and I don't
I
want
have a
cape
sticker.
Either. It would get in the way
You-
of my guns.
You don't want a badge so that I can say, "Give me your badge and your weapon" at some point during this.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, your loss.
Has the Journeyer found anything?
the journeyer basically the senses of the journeyer cannot penetrate this barrier.
All right.
You sort of see nothing beyond it. I guess you hear just normal sounds beyond it, but for the most part it's
Then I'll send the Journeyer in ahead of us.
okay. When the journeyer goes through, you lose contact.
All right.
Oh.
I'll let everyone know that.
We're gonna be on our own in there. Real.
Yeah.
Armin, how much does your armor protect against being crushed?
I mean, it was fine in the gravity in the void of vacuum of space, so enough.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure which one of us should go first. That's all.
I'll go first.
Do we need our spacesuits?
You could go get like spacesuits. or
Yeah,
something. That's kinda
in our top
Mhm.
sauce.
Do we
Yeah.
need
Top sauce.
them?
Yeah, you're welcome to do that.
I will not be calling it a
Look,
set.
I'll let with my armor on. I'll just stick my hand into it.
You can feel in there. Doesn't feel any different.
It doesn't seem like there's any like big pressure differential. I assume just like the exterior of this is causing some kind of interference for communications, but any pressurization will not take effect until we get further in. So for now, we're good.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Synth Devil and Captain Eldritch will sort of say, like Synth Devil's like,
Shall we come in with you, or do you want us? Do you want us as a reserve force?
I think that
I mean,
We wouldn't be able to call them.
yeah,
though.
yeah, she might as well
Yeah.
come with us because
Very
there's
well.
there's not going to be any calling for any cavalry.
All
Yeah.
into the breach.
then you guys cross the threshold of the darkness. It is pitch black, but lumen. If you would like to, you
Yes,
could attempt
yeah.
to do something about that.
can I do my light cantrip? I
Yeah,
have
you
that,
can just
right?
basically lumen can just kind of you guys walk in and you hear kind of like a muffled grumbling from nearby where Bloodstar is like,
I can't see, but I can still hear and feel and kill.
Oh.
and
He can't see, but what?
he could still hear and feel and kill. But and Whisper, you guys hear Whisper. Sorry, shoot. You hear Whisper saying, "I can see just fine." Synth Devil will indicate he can see as well since he has Devil's Sight. Lumen, if you cast that, you kind of hear everybody else. It's like really bright in your eyes as like suddenly you are in utter darkness and now there's like this fairly bright light casting, sort of like, and what you see around you does appear to be like a a dark substance of some kind. The darkness is functioning like a fluid, even though it is not. You can't feel it. But Lumen is keeping it
Just
at bay.
to be
Yeah,
clear,
go ahead.
now that we're in here, it's not like littered with dead bodies or anything, is it?
It's not littered with dead bodies, but you do see a few people lying on the ground ahead of you.
Check on
Okay.
them.
I'll go up and
Um,
check.
Well,
I
Or
just
make
want
a
to.
medical roll.
Before she sees them,
Yeah.
Lumen is going to say, "Oh, I have been practicing this. I heard this from a movie. Allow me to illuminate things. It is. Oh no, there's injured people. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
that's-
That was inappropriate.
But that was so good, Lumen. That was excellent.
I hug Lumen like good job, good job.
I like the idea that so basically they walk in and you like then you turn on the lights and everyone's like and Synth Devil's like oh damn and Whisper's like I'm still good.
I'll while Armament is checking on the bodies, I'm just gonna try to like scan the environment, see if I can see
Lumen will
any
go with the
forces
bodies as well.
around.
Okay, sure. Make a perception roll. Armament, what'd you roll for your medicine?
That was a 7. Or sorry, an 8.
8.
Yeah.
They don't. It's weird. These bodies seems to just be a few civilians. It's like some people out on a walk and the dog attached to a leash still. They are all completely still. They don't have heartbeats. They don't have breath, but they also don't. They are still like warm to the touch, or they're still. You have no idea what's going on. You would assume they're dead, but
That
you're not
like
sure.
no.
Is
When
it
we
kind of like the final, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was something similar. He did something similar, right?
The final turns you into like stone, basically. The final turns you into like a
Like-
husk.
Oh.
He like drained you
Okay.
completely. This is different. This is a person just lying there. Lumen, why don't you do a medicine as well? Because you're also good at those.
Remind me, did the final night is like it also drained people of color, right?
Yeah, you were like a gray, kind of like a chalky
Oh.
sort of fossilized.
23.
With a 23 Lumen, kind of Armament maybe is just kind of like so freaked out here, but since the light is coming from you, you're closer. You lean down and you suspect these people are in some kind of strange stasis. It is at this point the Guardian maybe is kind of like rippling in a slightly odd way, but Synth Devil is saying
Something is not functioning right in this place in my systems. Which is strange. Darkness does not usually affect me.
Well, so now that I'm in here, I'm back in touch with the Guardian.
Oh yeah, the Journeyer is you can the
The
Journeyer
Journeyer.
can come to you pretty quickly. The nature, yes, oh, God, wait. The Journeyer comes up to you. The Journeyer is communicating with you. It does seem that the long range, whatever your communication, is not working great.
No, I'll have to stay close to it. Wait, so what's going on with the Guardian though?
The Guardian has is changed slightly. Make a Guardian roll, like from the Guardian up above your strength. Just make like an
Okay.
understanding your Guardian roll.
22.
The Guardian is adjusting to this environment. Something is different here. And in particular, you have a strong sense that like you cannot get the BFG right now.
Sick.
You cannot make anything that uses like electricity or power or is based fundamentally in light.
Huh.
Almost as if like
So-
electrons are slower to move or something.
Okay.
Synth Devil is similarly having problems with his system.
Yeah.
And he's kind of
I still have the hellish fire, but
and also he is glowing slightly. Like you could like his hellfire does put off slight glow here, but not. It's weird. It kind of also absorbs, but he's like moving sort of sluggishly or something's off about him.
So
I guess I don't know if a Whisper or Synth would be better to ask, but I basically want to let them know that the stasis that these people are in, I want to figure out a way for us to trigger that in the heroes that are exploding because that may be the best way to save them and the people around them. If we can just trick their own body into thinking they're dead, but not actually kill them.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
Fun, interesting. Okay, yeah. Synth Devil says,
I could attempt to analyze these people. Perhaps I can return to Top Sauce or to the Fiat station, and because I'm concerned about my ability to function in this environment. Very little can stop the synthetic nature of my being. Something is interfering with technology in a considerable way here.
Maybe you
Perhaps
should
you
wait
should
outside
take
then.
these people
Yeah.
with you
okay.
And analyze them.
and get them help and study them at the same time.
He'll do so. Captain Eldritch will help them get out. You also hear Bloodstar sort of saying,
Yeah, my Bloodstar's not working perfectly either.
you then hear a massive crack as he fires a gun.
Guns still work though. But it
Right.
looks like
Dude.
it looks like the backpack. The Bloodstar isn't going. That's fine. Been a while since I've got my hands real dirty.
Oh.
I mean, they don't look very clean at the moment.
Oh right.
Do
That's the blood of my best friend who I just had to kill to prevent a bunch of innocent deaths.
You wash your hands?
I came
How
straight
long
here.
ago was that?
Couple hours. It was a long drive.
You drove?
Well, I rode on my bike.
And I feel that's just a biohazard. To
yeah.
really should wash your hands.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not clean like Topflight. Sorry, I don't
I
play
mean, don't
by the
apologize to me.
rules.
Apologize to your body and your immune system. It has to work overtime to protect you.
My immune system already works overtime. I have a healing factor the likes of which you wouldn't believe. See, check it out.
He shoots himself in the chest,
Oh my god.
and then the bullet falls out as his wound.
But
ends.
I thought
I wonder
his
if that would
blood
have
star
happened
was
faster if
acting
you
up.
washed your hands more.
No, his blood. So he has healing factor and super fighting, and then in
okay.
addition, he has a machine on his back.
Gotcha.
It's like how Wolverine has the claws, but also has the Sorry, what's that, Lumen?
Okay.
Perhaps that would have shot the bullet out faster if you were cleaner and weren't fighting off germs constantly.
We shouldn't be arguing about this now. We have people to save.
It is true.
Do I feel any different?
Your portals feel no different.
Okay.
Um,
Just wanted to make sure.
I'm gonna keep the journeyer near me, kind of like a lot closer to me.
yeah.
If it feels like as we get further in, at any point that like it's starting to like go on the fritz even more, I'll just recall it.
Understood. Yeah, it does. So basically, armament. Your tech has been minorly impacted, but you seem to be functioning fine. Teleportia, your powers don't seem affected here. Lumen, your light is keeping it back, but you definitely feel like there's an oppressive quality to the dark in
And
here.
that is all I have. Like,
As far as you can tell, she's fine. Synth Devil's
God help us if like she surges and has a normal speaking voice.
oh my god, we can actually understand her
she
and
goes.
not like.
She goes.
If that happens, Bloodstar, you have to promise to kill me. Don't worry, I can. I will. I can do the hard thing.
So yeah,
I'm gonna try and shift. Like I'm trying to make a weapon.
sure.
I'm trying to make a spear that would deal fire damage, also to see if it'll give off a little bit of light.
The light from the fire is.
I don't think it's gonna be like super bright, but like like a little bit.
It's a little of a glimmer, especially within lumens. It kind of it sort of flickers.
Yeah.
But you're able to make a spear.
If for some reason like I am outside of her light, it will give me at least a little bit of
Can
visibility.
I transfer light? We've never like talked about
You
this.
can
Can
put light on. You can cast the cantrip light on something else. You
But
can.
then I can't just have it on me as well.
I think you can only have it on one thing from the
One
cantrip.
thing. Okay. Fair enough.
I think that's correct. Yeah. It can only be on one source. It is not concentration. But if you cast it on another thing, it disappears from the first thing.
Okay.
Now, should we allow you to bump that up with a one enhancement point? Absolutely. You can put light on multiple things. That would be fine. But as you guys sort of begin moving through, it seems like you're just kind of walking through like a park and through like a suburban neighborhood. moving towards you're in a city called Toucan Beach. You are.
Do we see any
walking.
toucans?
You see like toucans on signs, but actually you probably do see a few like toucan, like stasis toucans on the ground, falling out of trees. Yeah.
Could I try to do like survival or tracking, trying to find
Ooh,
the guy?
oh, absolutely, please do that. I love that.
Okay. I'm gonna use my D4 for advantage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a 3.
Oh.
Sadly, don't get it back, but you still get the advantage, the sweet, sweet advantage. I guess I should also mention this game is basically 5e, but it has some super heroic twists. The players all have one set of hero dice on top of all their normal sort of like 5e based stuff. The hero dice are it's 6 dice. It's everything but the percentile. So 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20. And basically, these dice can all be used to just be put on top of a roll if you need to, like, it's kind of a way to, like, you can get a little extra on a roll that's really important, but each has a unique ability. The D4 is a fun one, and whenever you use it for the unique ability, you roll it, and if you roll the maximum value, the unique ability is enhanced. So for example, you get one D4, you roll the D4, you'll get advantage on your next roll, but if you roll a 4, you get to keep it and try it again. So Teleportia just did not get the 4, but she did have advantage on that roll. How did your tracking go?
27.
27. Yeah, Teleportia. You have a very clear sense just of like feeling kind of just the vibe of this, and as you guys walk in, you don't have a huge amount of vision because Lumen's light doesn't extend that far, but you have a clear sense that you are leading them. You kind of change path slightly. You're moving sort of. You are leading them towards you think is the source of all of this.
Okay, cool. Sweet. It's just almost like a vibe check, like the vibe.
Guys, I
Just
sent
over
something
there.
this way, as you guys are sort of going through.
Alright.
Bloodstar suddenly stops and goes,
Wait. I feel something, but I don't smell it. What is that? Do the rest of you feel that?
Do we feel anything?
you can make perception checks.
I'm rolling like shit today. That's an 18.
19.
18, 19.
7.
7.
7.
No,
17.
I don't have a high perception factor.
17. So basically he's kind of like,
It's all about these.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19, and then you're 7.
yeah, 7, 17, 18, 19. You know, actually, I'll roll for your girl. I'll roll for the Eldritch one. Oh, I thought I rolled the witch's hat / witch's tit, as we sometimes call it, but instead I just rolled a 9. So she does have a high perception factor, though. That would be. She does get to a 21.
Oh, holy
So
crap.
because she has 12. So basically she. Yes, something is amiss. It's hard to explain. And then Bloodstar remembering.
It's a power surge!
And something roils across. Armament.
Yeah?
You just look around. The journeyer flying. You're wondering what's coming. You know your connection to him is a little less than it has been. But you don't feel any different. Lumen. You feel the darkness burning inside you. You feel the darkness welling around you, your fingertips. The darkness that is on the edge of this small aura that is created by your own light. You can feel the darkness beckoning. You can feel yourself being able to conjure it. Not this exact darkness, but the same shadow. It's at your fingertips. You've done it before. There's this part of you that wonders, that feels it surging for a moment. then you realize that it's not a power surge. It's just
I
fear.
knew it.
Findon,
Mm-hmm.
you sort of stand there, trying to look, understand what's going on, fearful of what's happening.
Giving Teleportia a panic attack.
You glance around, you flex your knuckles. You take just a half step this direction, and you fall to the ground because your strength is 3.
What?
Findon falls to the ground. His strength is only 3.
Without my gift.
So
I have
Findon,
strength.
you suddenly feel this strange this wave washing over you. Bloodstar is aiming 2 massive guns at him. Like, it's him. It's Findon. Oh my god, how strong is he about to become? Findon, do you say
Because of-
anything? You're in a good bit of pain. You really can't stand that well. Even you're very, very weak.
Lumen is going to, just because a power surge doesn't seem like he would get weaker. I think he just tripped. He's fine, right? Findon, please stand up. This is not the time to. I already made one mistake today. We can't have all of us making jokes.
No, I don't think I can't stand.
But then,
That can't be,
but
right?
then Findon, you feel this kind of this thud kind of next to your head. You can turn, and you see, sitting in the grass in the dull glow of Lumen's light, there's a large hilt of a sword. The blade, there's just a couple little jagged pieces at the end as if it's been melted off. But there's this very massive sort of sword hilt. It would take 2 hands.
Do I feel any? I mean, obviously it's there. Do I feel anything coming from it? Does it feel?
Feel? I mean, right now you just feel pain and you feel like a weird, woozy feeling. But it did just appear here, and I will say that given your just expertise in what it is you do, you definitely know that this hilt is covered in, sort of runes
Sure.
of a certain time.
I will grab the hilt.
Cool. Make just a strength check to try to do so. With your strength being 3, that would be a negative, but you still get your athletics. I'll give you so basically, just roll.
What was it before?
Just roll it.
My strength score is a 25 when I have, but without the gift, it is my true strength as a person, which is 30.
So go ahead and roll it, but you could always use hero dice to to pump it at the end if you need to.
Well, let's start with just getting advantage at the very least.
Okay, sure.
That's a 4.
Hey.
Oh,
you get advantage
nice.
again. It's a no cost.
Okay. Okay, so I rolled a 16. What am I adding to this again?
It's more
Negative.
subtracting, but
Yeah.
that will be enough for you to just you reach your hands, and suddenly there is this this magical power. You hear Captain Eldritch go. You hear Bloodstar
Oh my
go.
god.
Oh wow! Whoa,
She
whoa!
also got a surge. She got louder.
Yeah.
I'm gasping. And I'm
She's
just going
Gasper.
I'm just gonna throw this onto Gasper. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
That is what she
Pretty
said.
good. That was pretty good what you just did. Pierce, do you know what's happening right now?
Not entirely,
Okay.
but I have a feeling.
So, and
Let it
with that, you can refresh your sheet. You have a new one. I'll change the name of it real quick. Findon is gone before you, and in his place stands the legendary hero, Beowulf.
Oh.
Oh.
Thor style.
no.
So basically, forget about Findon.
Oh, I'm Eric Masterson now?
You
Like
are, it is now Dr. Donald Blake taps his wooden cane on the ground and it turns into Mjolnir and he is Thor. You are Beowulf king of the. Some people say Yeats, some people say Yeats, some people say Yates. The point is, you're the king of
Those
those
all
guys.
sounded near
So,
identical.
Pierce, yes, you must now do a sort of Swedish accent of some kind, as you are
Oh,
now a
no.
completely different person.
Oh.
For when you transform, you are actually Beowulf summoned. Would you like to tell everyone the stats here if you look at it?
Well, does he have Findon's like? Does he know who we are at least?
He
Yeah.
will know who you are, but he is not Findon. He is Beowulf.
Okay.
Oh, well, I appear to have 20s in every stat. So
In
that's
what?
a nice thing.
In
Yeah.
every
Tease
stat?
and every
He
stat?
has 20 and everything.
Yes.
You see, he has the feature and trait. As the hero, is the great hero king of the Yeats, you are epically well rounded with a score of 20 in all statistics. Your brawn factor and perception factor are both 3, and your run speed is 60. You have extra attack. You can cast Heroism at will as a 3rd level spell. You can also cast Sword Burst, which is all the various swords that you've broken. You have Inspiring Valor. Once per long rest, you can use your bonus action to inspire one ally, recovering one expended hero die of
Whoa.
your choice. You have
We
improved...
need to go back and let Meridian punch you again and
Yeah.
see
Yes,
what happens.
yes.
When your heroic fortitude takes effect, instead of being reduced to 1, you're reduced to 10, unless you were lower than 10. And then finally, the magic is in you. You cannot wield magic swords. This is a thing, by the way. You cannot wield a magic sword, but your weapon attacks are always magical since you're magical, but you cannot wield better swords. Because
They're
Hrunting
better.
and Nagling broke, and so did the giant sword, the hilt of which now summons you. The only thing you took from the cave of Grendel and his mother, aside from Grendel's head. You slashed it off with that sword, and the sword melted away because of the poison in their blood. Sorry, go ahead, Lumen.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Are you? What? Findon, are you okay?
I am no longer Findon.
Does he
Oh,
also
great.
look different?
Oh yeah,
too?
he looks
Yeah,
very
does he
different.
look-
Yeah, he looks
Okay.
like a bearded. I mean, I guess he's still bearded, but now he's probably like
But
a,
do I have like armor? Do I have like? Because
Yeah.
Findon's just got.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
no
it's
longer
just
like
like
a guy in
suspenders, white
suspenders.
shirt.
He's in like you know like old you know Norse old Scandinavian armor, like chainmail. You don't have a sword specifically. You do have a stabbing knife, which is basically like a short sword, and of course you can get a sword if you need a sword.
Sure.
You probably have like a long sword. Actually, I take that back. You got it's whatever. So you just use swords. They break all the time. It's no big deal. But the point is, he is there. Yeah. So sorry. This is so. Like I said, I rolled randomly, and I decided I was going to do a big thing for one of you because I mean, Lawrence is
God
big too. These are
damn.
big. These are big changes. And I'm sorry that I tormented you, Teleportia, by saying everyone and then made it. Think
Yeah,
and I thought you were going to be the last
I
one.
thought so!
But that's
I figured
I
that's
thought
how you
it
would
but that's a
do it.
misdirect, so you got to do it. So
Yeah.
then it's like, so Pierce hears his name and he goes, "Okay, it's not me." Anyway,
Um,
I am the grantor of Findon's power. And when I saw him falter, I've arrived here to right that.
so you're here to help.
Yes, we have evil in the world that needs destroying.
Great, yeah, perfect. Better than Findon. Let's
but
go.
not.
Where did Findon go?
Is he
Findon
okay?
Findon is still here. He resides inside me.
Am I shooting this guy, or this is this guy?
No, guns down. We're good
We
here.
don't know him, but I don't think you are shooting him either.
Understood.
Like, can he hear us still through you, or is
I
he
believe this is
unconscious?
just like V. V's forms could hear us when they were in.
This is like
her-
it's similar but different to V. V has a go wide formation. This is like a battle cruiser formation.
Gotcha. All right. Then I shake his hand.
Oh, sure. It's
I
good to
should-
meet you.
It's good to meet you too.
Is everyone else
Findon
feeling
always
okay?
do this? No.
I mean,
I don't think he was able to. No.
Is anybody else out of control?
nothing happened to Whisper.
Whisper says,
Or Gasper.
"No, but I did gasp because there was an incredible amount of magical energy that penetrated even this darkness. Strange. These power surges are something else."
So, I mean, I feel that does answer a question at least. That means the power surges are at least magical and not some virus that's infecting heroes or the power people.
Well, now that actually, point of clarification, Philip, since I am Beowulf now, did I intervene because the power surge took Findon's power, or was I called here by the surge?
The power surge caused, basically, you had been granting Findon power in a, in kind of like a weird, like from, maybe even just Valhalla. I think that's the pagan gods these guys prayed to.
I think so.
But you had been like granting your power to heroes here and there. You'd granted it to him. A power surge happened, and suddenly you've been pulled in completely in his place. It was not an active thing on your part.
Got it. But I did not know why I was summoned here. But it seems that there's evil, and we should destroy it.
Put
I
it to
think
sleep first.
destroying or stopping, I don't think destruction is the only option, but we should definitely make it cease whatever it's doing.
Merely trying to knock her out first. It's not. Destruction is not the first step here.
That being said, Renfair, if you need to take a shot, take your shot. There's lives at stake.
This sounds like an evil. Should I claim this evil's head?
No.
No.
Lumen, a Renaissance fair is a place where people go and they dress up like it's, several centuries ago, and generally have fun there.
It's not fun. It's overpriced. Too many lines.
Well, you just have to
The
go.
costumes are not time period specific enough. Now people wear tiefling horns and elf ears. That's not the Renaissance. That's
people
fantasy.
care about this?
I'm just saying. It's a misnomer.
You're the one who brought it up.
Actually, from my time, you would be surprised at how many elf ears and horns there were.
I don't want to hear this. Let's just keep going.
He's still wearing his like 100-pound gun backpack, just because in case it starts working. But
I do not remember this one from Findon. Is this new friend part of the group now?
Friend is a strong,
Very strong
word.
I'm your ally.
Okay.
Scared to offer him a sandwich.
Actually, do you have sandwiches?
He hasn't washed his hands.
I do have sandwiches, yes. Would you like one?
I would love a sandwich.
I'd totally give.
what is
Beowulf
this
a
sandwich thing, huh? I thought it would be a witch made of sandwich.
Is
is
Beowulf
delightful.
is he like just within the normal range of human size, or is he just 7.5 feet tall?
No, he's normal range of human size, but he does seem to be. He's certainly tall. He's probably 6 something, but he's he has that over. It's like he does have this paragon of humanity. Yeah,
a presence kind of thing.
He's how you'd expect Odysseus to be, or Aeneas maybe. Anyway, so.
Where's the offensive accent, Pierce?
Yeah.
Okay, well, shall we keep going?
Yes.
Lead
Let's
on
try
to
to
the
find
evil.
Very good. So you guys carry on into the darkness.
No pressure change or anything, right?
After you've gone about a mile or two, there does seem to be there is a bit of a you do feel a little more pressure. But the other thing that is strange is you're coming up actually Beowulf. I think armament. What is your perception factor? 3.
3, yes.
So basically, Beowulf armament and my girl, Captain Eldritch Whisper. Teleportia, what's yours?
How would I see that?
It's
Top right.
Up, yeah, top right over your features and traits.
It says +4. Wait, what?
Hold on here. It's the you have a 1 It's the perception factor. It's in column P. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
There we
top
go.
right.
I see it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, it was to the right of the top. It just wasn't all the way right. So basically, Beowulf, Armament, and Whisper all have pretty high perception. Bloodstars is higher. And he is, he will sort of indicate, there's something over there. There's something moving ahead.
All right. Well,
I can't see it, not with the range of the light, but I can hear it. I can smell it. It smells like ozone and nothing. I'm pretty sure I could shoot it. I
No,
maybe
will
not.
tell me to.
Let's go slowly and be alert, but no shooting unless it shoots something at us.
Agreed. I'll tell you this. Whatever I'm smelling, it ain't human.
He proceeds to walk. And it is shocking for a guy with a 5-pronged, like missile launcher spinning roulette thing on his back. He is very quiet. Just, and you guys can follow along.
Does he, because we established he still has the blood from scorched earth on him, does he himself smell bad?
Yeah, he doesn't smell great. That's true. I guess a person tracking him by smell would smell him. That's fair. So are you guys going to, are you actively sneaking? What is your approach? Basically, you're in.
I don't know that I can be sneaking while I'm
It is
glowing.
hard. You are.
Yeah.
The thing is, like in order to see a thing, it will sort of see your light or enter your light or be brought into your zone of light. So it is a hard thing. So what approach would you like to take?
I mean, at least being quiet, so
Okay,
we're not
not being actively loud.
giving up all senses. But yeah,
If you guys want me to turn off the light, I can. Though I don't know how
well, then we'll
much
be able
harder
to
it would be to see.
so.
You, based on your first venture in here, you would have no light. You would see nothing.
I am unafraid for something to find us.
That's the Beowulf I'm talking about.
All right, so
Shine brightly.
we will sort of simply say that you guys are approaching with caution, kind of like weapons, action, sort of readied sort of thing. And as you get a little closer, Bloodstar is very quietly saying,
It hears us. It's looking. It's coming now.
and he kind of like jumps up onto like a bench or something from whatever like park or like bus stop you guys are going by. Also, there are bodies just all over the place as you're passing through. There's a lot of people are like unconscious in this stasis, but he's like got his guns out. And at this point, Armament, Beowulf, and Whisper do hear like footsteps running ahead.
I'm gonna just get ready for something to come that might attack us.
You still have your fire
Shadow
spear.
Star wasn't evil, right?
Star Shadow is a villain, yes.
Oh, she is a villain.
Yes.
Fuck. All right. Then maybe we will kill her. I don't know. I thought she was.
No, Star Shadow was a villain. Star Shadow, I guess I should have, before you guys came in here, I should have given you this brief. It is certainly one you would have had. Star Shadow, real name Whitney Wallace. Her powers are tech alien based. It has a node of the power galactic. She basically has a suit that utilizes elements of the power galactic that allows her to manipulate shadow, darkness, and gravity. Specifically, she is able to conjure and sort of influence dark matter. She is someone who has ventured into a black hole and emerged from the event horizon, something that should have been impossible, but her technology allows her to dip in and dip out. So she can handle the pressure of that sort of darkness.
Doesn't it get spaghettified?
She does not. Or if she does, it doesn't. She de-spaghetts. She unspaghetts, respaghetts, de-spaghetts. The point
Ain't
being,
such a picture.
she typically, however, was she would do stuff on Earth here or there, but like her powers are intense, but it's not like she can actually make a black hole. She could like smack something, it would be much more limited in size and scale. She was she was, she's an agent of Temple back in the days, and your thing, now she's just a supervillain. Because without Tatiana Temple and the agents of Temple there, it's more kind of balkanized. So, something is running forward, and basically, if you imagine what emerges suddenly into your light and kind of like is recoiling, but like, and you actually see Lumen as this thing comes out. It's like waving its arms, and some of your light seems like it's being pushed back. Like it's like wafting the fog from a smoke machine. You see something that I guess I could best describe as like, imagine Slender Man, but like covered in black oil. So just this like
Covered
long
in black oil?
Yeah, so it's just like black, slick, kind of like lightless thing that is just moving through and kind of moving in a weird way. But that thing is coming here. Let's roll initiative.
Ugh.
All right, there's an actually good roll for once.
I actually got a bad one. 13 for me.
13 for you.
21.
21 for armament. Okay. Lumen is 13.
Yeah.
Teleportia.
16.
She's so sad.
I know you're not complaining.
Beowulf,
I said
what are we at?
13.
9. You can give me all the power in the universe, Phil.
I was about to say, like, when I was making that, I was like, oh man, this character has really good initiative. All right.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 4. I have a +5.
Let's see. Bloodstar. That's funny.
That's so funny.
Then Captain Eldritch. Oh yeah, she's okay. Cool. Okay. Armament. Son of a gun. Armament, you are up first.
So I mean, we can't tell how close these things are just yet, or we
No, it is burst. It is like in visual range. I think the range of light is like 30, 60 probably, right? It's 30 feet and dim for another, so it's 60 feet.
You
from
said is it also wearing a suit?
No. It's just a
Okay.
tall, thin, maybe spaghettified. Basically, it is this tall, thin, like warped thing, but like these, but it's all
Got it. Yeah.
too long, too thin, and sorry, I said Slender Man if that was triggering. For you.
Okay. I'll go up to it. I'll just zip over to it
Okay.
and try and strike it.
I love it.
So we're gonna roll that die. That's almost there. That's a 29 to hit.
29 certainly hits this thing, which kind
Yeah.
of makes this like empty noise in response. Those kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's 7 and 8 on 2d8. So 23 points of fire damage.
Fire damage seems to be doing just fine against it.
Okay, great, cool.
Okay.
In that case, I will then do my second attack.
Yeah, thought you would.
You did. Well, you thought right. You know what, Philip? You know what? You were right. That's another
Tell
17.
Your sister you were right. 17?
Yeah.
17 does hit.
No. It was another 29 to hit. 17 points of fire damage.
Gotcha. Well, I've also revealed that even a 17 will hit.
Yeah, great.
Cool. So you've
Sucker.
done. So you did 40 points of fire damage right at the outset. Cool.
Yep.
Just gonna allow me to just maximize a monster HP real quick because it's still not gonna make a difference. And it is Captain Eldritch's turn. God, she'll just. I don't even know. She typically likes to like buff you guys, but honestly, she'll just hit this thing with an Eldritch Blast or several. Let's see. Hit. All 3 beams hit, so I'm just gonna do some average damage from her. Oh, cool. Bloodstar gets to go. Bloodstar says.
Actually,
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Beowulf.
at the end of her turn, I'm gonna
Yeah.
spend my d20.
I love it.
'Cause-
You should.
Oh.
Just as Bloodstar's moving in, preparing to shoot, he's like,
Yeah.
Whoa, this Beowulf guy's fast. I should read
I rolled a 19.
Heartbreaking. So just so everybody knows, the D20 allows you, basically, it's like you can just take a turn right then in initiative no matter what. It's kind of a free bonus turn if you spend your D20. But if you roll a 20 on it, you take that turn every round in initiative. So if it's like a big boss fight, that can be huge because you're literally getting 2 turns around. Beowulf?
All I'm going to do is I'm going to step forward. I'm going to brandish what you said looks like a dagger I have, or is it?
You have a long sword and a short sword.
Okay. So I'll pull out this long sword and brandish it and say, "Be unafraid, friends. You walk with the king of Geats," and I'll cast heroism.
Okay.
So targeting Lumen, Teleportia, and Armament.
Great.
So
So-
you are all immune to fear, and you get 5 temporary hit points. I don't know what my spellcasting modifier is, but it's 20 across the boards. So
That is
Sick.
correct.
Hi.
Nice.
That's
It's
actually a
more about
lot considering
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
health. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
All right.
and I'll just sort of step to the forefront.
You're sort of standing up and you're brandishing this, and Bloodstar goes,
That's nice. Can I shoot it?
I don't know that I'm the qualified entity.
Guess that answers my question.
he's like just doing crazy whatever stuff. And he'll kind of, as he runs past you, ooh, let me see who he says this to, actually. I'll roll my new one of my 4. Perfect. As he runs past you, Teleportia, he's wearing like one of those masks, you can't really see his eyes, but you feel like he winks and he goes,
Rubber bullets, promise.
and that's a Batman animated series reference. Anyway, he shoots this thing a bunch. Yep.
I don't know that he needs to be using rubber bullets on this thing.
He was kidding. He's
Yeah.
So he deals a good bit of damage to it. Yep. Cool. Teleportia, your turn.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to hit it with a warp beam.
Great.
Oh, never mind. That's not happening.
What'd you roll?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, that would be an 11. So
11 doesn't hit,
that's
but you
not-
do get
yeah.
to attack twice, even with your warp beam.
Oh, really?
Whenever you take the attack action, which for you, the warp beam is an attack. So yeah, it's not a spell.
Ooh. So I can try it again?
You can roll it again.
Yeah. That's a natural 20.
A natural 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, everyone. So here's how this is going to go.
Do it. Spend
So,
that D12.
first of all, would you like to
Oh, yeah.
spend any hero dice? Is it your D10 or the D12? The D12, right?
12.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
for our viewers out there
definitely.
learning about this silly thing we do, if you expend your hero D12, you increase the die size of damage for an attack. So it's really good to use this on a crit. And if you roll a 12 on it, you increase it by 2. What did you roll?
A 10.
A 10. Ooh, close but no cigar.
So good, though.
First of all, you're
Yeah.
rolling D10s. So, there are different rules for how crits work. Here's the one I've moved to because it seems more fun. Basically, you do double dice damage, but what I do is you do max damage on the first 3. So you need to roll 3 D10s
Uh-huh.
and add that to 30 because you're getting 3 D10s that are maxed.
Okay.
And then add that to... So actually, it's 3d10 plus 35 for you because your modifiers are 35.
All right, so it was 17 in total.
You rolled 17 in total, so 17 plus 35 is...
For 52? 42?
I think 53.
50. Oh, God.
But...
Math. Math.
No,
I'm
52,
gonna be
I
honest,
think
my
you're
eyes
right.
glazed over. I
52,
forgot the
you're right.
numbers
So,
already.
with 52 points of damage, would you please apologize to Lumen that she doesn't get a turn?
I hug her.
Okay. You just...
Lumen is just happy evil is vanquished.
Slight
KJ's disappointed.
Yeah, okay.
Slight clarification, just so I remember this
Yeah,
about the
please.
spell for the future. You get those temporary hit points at the start of every one of your turns.
Oh.
So if they're ever depleted, you just get that back at the beginning of your turn.
Oh, but they don't add on. So like the next turn wouldn't have been like I have
Right. They
10.
never stack, but like if you lose
Oh.
those in between when you start your turn, you'll get 5 hit points.
Okay. And also, if we do another battle right now, would they start over?
It'll
since-
disappear after a minute, but I
Oh.
can just do this as will. At
Oh,
will,
okay,
so.
all
Yeah,
right.
this is a yeah. I bet at
And
some
the King
points
of
you'll.
Thieves.
Honestly, now that I think about it, you could have done this like right
It's
before
fine.
the fight.
I spent the D20 for the moment. That was the plan, but then my initiative hurt me, so I wanted the
Yeah, that's
moment.
great. No, that's perfect, guys. So basically, Teleportia, you just and this thing is just warped apart, and it kind of just falls to the ground, pretty bashed up, kind of covered in slashes and eldritch blast. So it is very deformed now. Bloodstar's moving in on it and says,
You guys are all right.
Can I go examine it?
absolutely, make a medicine roll. Bloodstar's looking it over and saying, it's
Could I
dead."
try? Could I do a science cosmos roll?
Ooh, yeah, Science Cosmos it up. He'll sort of say,
Whatever this is, there's more of them out there.
This
Oh,
would-
I have that too, actually.
I will. I'll throw a D12 on top of that.
love it.
Okay, well that was a 10 on the D12, so it takes me to a 28.
Well,
Oh, I got
yikes.
22.
With 22, Lumen, you sort of suspect, but Armin begins explaining it, and you're kind of like, oh right,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say that, yeah, and yeah, Teleportia and Beowulf, you guys can agree or not, but basically, Armin mentions, yes, you suspect that this is a dark matter creature. This is something that is formed of dark matter. This is a walking. You don't believe whatever this was is like a. It is sentient but not sapient. It's kind of like a drone. This is not something that was previously in Star Shadow's power set. So she must be able to shape and animate dark matter at this point.
Okay, and I guess based on that roll, can I also confirm that it's not that it is coming from just extraneous dark matter, and it's not like she is combining dark matter and
Controlling
random people?
You're cutting into it, and there's no person in there. No, you don't.
Okay,
think this
great.
is a transformed human.
Imagine there was. Ugh.
Oh, that would be so
then-
sad.
Yeah, so lethal force confirmed on these.
And Bloodstar says,
Oh, good. I'm so glad I'll be able to sleep at night.
Still, the body's still there, right?
"Body's still there." Yes.
Could I just do a tiny follow blast to see if my magic would have done anything?
Your light seems to mess with it, sure. Your light
Oh,
seems
okay.
to impact it, but it doesn't seem to be it does not appear to have been what should we say? It's not what's the term where you're vulnerable? It's not vulnerable. You're not doing extra damage to it. Which
Cool. All right.
in and of itself is interesting because typically your light really messes with shadow stuff, but this isn't so concentrated. You also, Armament, both you and Lumen didn't do this since you rolled above 20. You know you probably don't want to touch this thing because it is dark matter and that might react badly with,
Yeah, I'll just say that out loud.
Cool. Well,
So it looks different from Baron darkness stuff.
his
like a
darkness
lot.
is not dark matter. His is more like shadow, kind of mystical
okay.
shadow personified that was then done as a biological thing. Yeah, this is more like sci-fi nonsense.
So was she sent? Did she swatch that? Did Shadowstar see all of that with that entity?
I don't know if she can see through her drones. But if what Bloodstar says is true, she may have an army of these guarding her at the center of this place.
A dark army.
Potentially Beowulf. That's cool to say.
You just cross that off the bucket list. All
Right.
set.
The king of the Yeats, but not the king of the Yates, because he's just a poet.
I mean,
Falcon cannot hear the falconer. Yes.
Falcon. Sorry.
I suppose we should be going deeper, but the pressure may continue to be harmful.
Indeed. But I don't think anyone ever said this was going to be easy. There's a lot of people here in a state between life and death. Are you really willing to let them all stay like this or die if we don't do something soon enough?
No, I mean this in the most accusatory way. It feels like every time you start talking, you're looking to start a fight. I don't. No one said they thought this would be easy. I wasn't saying that we were going to abandon all these people here. I was merely voicing that things may get difficult as we continue to go forward. Not that it was anything worth.
On the contrary, I would like to say that if this is what the army is, I think staying it will be very easy.
But he just said that now. No one said that before. You said the thing.
This is true.
He kind of gets close to you, Lumen, and says, "Don't fall in love with me. It won't end good for either of us."
I have to tell you, I'm flattered. I am messaging a famous actor here, but also it wouldn't happen because you lack the minimum requirements of hygiene for me. I just why you wouldn't immediately wash blood off your hands. It's baffling to me, honestly. It's
Good. I'm glad you got the message. Let's go. And he continues moving.
No, there was no. I got no message. I don't understand.
I'm currently messaging a face.
I need to know who. I need to know.
You don't remember?
Yeah,
The very first episode?
I don't remember.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, right.
Because he has a throwing knife. So, my friends.
Oh, and now he's a supervillain, so it's like forbidden love.
I know. Guys, with that, because, since we're doing these regularly, that brings us to the end of the first issue of Topflight West Power Surge. So be back, I think, basically 4 weeks from tonight. Potentially could be earlier if there's schedule changes and other stuff, but basically, I think, did anybody remember what day I said? Like the 21st, I think, of next month, maybe?
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
That's
something
correct.
like that. The Wednesday, the 21st, around there, we will be back with this. But in 2 weeks, you can join us for Formation Nation, issue number 2, which might have some of these characters, and in comic book fashion, they might be, because, I've been reading so many comic books to get back into this, and, it is such a mess of, who's in what books, so, they might be in that comic, sharing information they learned from this, but then in this one after that with information for this, it's just, it's just, the narrative will be messed up, and we're just embracing that, because that's how superhero comics work. So, some of these characters might be here, some might not, others might be here playing other characters, others might be playing other characters later times. Anyway, we got 2 Topflight games going on, showing different sides of the Power Surge, trying to get to the bottom of it. Gonna be very fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Players, thank you for playing. Pierce, I hope you're okay. When I rolled
This will
yours,
be very fun.
I will say, yes, go ahead, Armament.
Are these games that have epilogues too?
Oh.
I don't think I always do epilogues in these.
No, I don't think so. I think
No.
No, I
that
think
was,
we got epilogues just for the big endings.
I
Okay.
occasionally would do epilogues.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
yeah, like the end of Temple Flight when we came back and we were going on a break. We had
I mean,
I
if
just
you
wanted to
Yeah.
if you want a Baskerville epilogue, we can. But
No, I really don't.
No.
if you're saying no. I think
Anything but
Sophia's
that.
gonna say no. It's fine.
hits.
I would rather
No.
have an Interior
No.
Man one than that.
How about Interior Man and Baskerville together?
Oh.
Hard pass.
Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. So yeah, please join us for more of these fun things. These will be at kind of alternating weeks. Then on the next Tuesday, and on the Tuesdays when we don't have a Top Flight game on a Wednesday, we have Grey in the Dark, our crazy noir game, which KJ is also in as the incomparable Duchess Contessa. On this coming Friday, we are back for Blood from a Stone. I think we'll have the whole team back so that Medina can let them know what she found out in her little perusing of some liner notes of a famous album. On Sunday, we have Here Be Dragons, and they are, I don't know, they have some decisions to make about a ring. Gotta see a man about a ring. And on Monday, episode 2, unless okay, I'm gonna be honest. There's a minor chance that Memorial Day will call that one off because of like just available. Because like we're kind of low on it, but I think we're still gonna do it Monday. As far as I know, as of now, we'll have the people for it on Monday. Third time's the charm. America's #1 news sitcom that streams on Twitch. It's gonna be at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on Monday. So far, we have met Joy Fuller, we have met HUD, we have met Enid Pantry, which I have to say is Lauren's best name she's ever come up with. Her character's name is Enid Pantry. 10 out of 10, no notes. We also met Erasmus, who Enid is totally into. And that is Kevin's character. And then, of course, we met the incomparable man at the center of the whole thing, man or Muppet, Dr. Charm. He's a wizard.
A Muppet of a man, really.
If he's a man, he must be a Muppet of a man. Very manly Muppet. So basically, Dr. Charm is there at the center. All he wants is just for things to work out with his family, business, and school. So come join us for more sitcom shenanigans. I think we will try to have some more of the interactivity figured out by then. But bear with us because this is a weird one. But it was a lot of fun when we did it, so please join us for that. And yeah, we'll see you in the future for more Topflight. But this was a great session, guys. Thank you so much. Welcome Beowulf to the team. Findon, of course, will still be in the game when he's like
I was gonna ask, so do we just have Beowulf until this?
So, well,
shipping
it
is
sounds
over,
like if it's like the some of the Thors that have been there,
Yeah.
if I get separated from this sword for too long, I would revert back, or if I choose to revert back, I revert back, right?
There are some rules.
But
You
then
don't
I'm
even know
someone
what
who
they
can't
are.
even hold myself up
Yeah.
because my mass is too much for my strength.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
old Findon. So, so we'll have some fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for participating. This was super fun. Yeah. Does anybody want to? Those are other games. Anybody want to plug channels
Sure.
or things?
Damn.
I mean, I stream on Twitch sometimes, so come hang out. Mostly it's been Magic the Gathering lately. I actually took a draft deck to 7-0 today. Not my first
done.
trophy, not my first trophy of this of this format, but my first undefeated. It was sick. It was, dude. This deck, I drafted it last night, but this deck, I didn't save the deck, but I took a screenshot of it. Pick 1, pack 1 was Croxa and Kunaros, and then pick 2, pack 2 was Aurelia the War Leader.
I know that one.
Pick 3, pack 2, I got a Sunfall. It was just and I had like 3 of the 3 dual lands. It was Mardu yarn. It was a sick. People would scoop. Like I had enough recursion too where I would just bring the shit back, and then it was a really fun deck to play. I'm glad I got to do it. Yeah.
And for everybody wondering out there, the words he says do make sense to a small subset of the population.
Yeah.
If you'd like to find out more about it, you can visit your local library, where
Yeah.
they'll tell you to go to your local game store.
Well, and someday if the Russo brothers ever make their Infinity War again with the Magic the Gathering characters that they were supposed to be making for Netflix, then a lot of these words will make more sense to the populace at large.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
I think that's optimistic. Yeah, very good. Follow Steinbergler.
Oh, and if you want to hang out with me on Sunday mornings from 9 to noon-ish, I am reading books from my youth. I am reading the Animorph books now.
Where are you in the series?
I will be reading
Book 11.
Book 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which one is that called?
The Forgotten. So this is the one where they introduced Sario Rips for the first time. So this is when time travel starts to enter into the story.
Okay. Because 13 is where Tobias gets morphing again, right?
Yes.
Right.
Spoilers for the
Spoilers?
future.
Oh,
reads,
come
but-
on.
It's like 30 years old. Like,
But yeah, so it's usually about 3 hours. I read this out loud. I do, poor and inconsistent voice acting. But if you want to come hang out,
So again, I will say, follow Pierce Likes Things, guys. Those are words that make sense to some people. Just once again, everything they talked about, whoever Tobias is, that is a character. It'll make sense if you listen to the books.
like a new start.
Pierce, just with one random point, you should just start reading the Elemis Chronicles and see if people understand that.
oh yeah, I mean, I've thought about if I'm going. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to introduce those because I do have them. I do have them stacked in chronological order right now.
Are you gonna do the megamorphs?
I do the Megamorphs. I've read the first one,
Ooh.
so because those do pertain to the
The
main.
second one is wild.
The second one is very nice. The third one's my favorite, but that one's a ways down.
Yeah.
KJ
Let me know when you're
or
ready to.
KJ, do you want to talk about the charity that your husband's trying to save the world?
Donation
get to
cutoff
book
is
22.
I have no.
Yes, I just would any women like to speak about anything, or have you been societally conditioned not to talk? That's also if that's just the case, that's fine. Because guys will just happily just tell you about this stuff. So that's how we operate.
I really was like, I hate that you said this like before stream, but like they were talking again. I was literally sitting there going, they look so happy. Like,
I know. I'm so happy to see them happy.
So happy.
Well, there you go. So there you go. That's everything there is to say. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all so much for watching. Please follow our channel. Subscribe if you're able. You can use a free subscription if you go to, do your Amazon Prime account.
Oh.
Also, check out. Go to our Discord. We got a lot of stuff on Discord, but check out our wiki. We now have a long list of our wiki. It is in process. I think we now started getting all the series pages together and all that stuff. We're gonna add that. I don't handle all the Nightbot stuff, but I know we're gonna put that onto the our links as well. Sure. So we'll have that soon. But I think it's and it's all the wiki is still being built, but that's all being done by Sophia. So thank you so much, Sophia. It's all
thank you.
It's all very cool. Because soon you'll be able to be somebody will be like, who's Bloodstar? And it'll be like, huh? Who is Bloodstar? And then you can go to our wiki during the game and type in, and it's like, ooh, Bloodstar's a hero. He's like this guy, and he does this, and you're like, cool. I'm as caught up as the players now. That's the dream.
But then if the players
that
use
implies
it,
that we're caught up. I'm constantly.
You guys, yes, you will now be expected to go to the wiki and find stuff out.
So would we still have to roll for use computers because we just did? Like.
That's so interesting. Wiki info. Oh, that's so interesting. I guess not. Yeah.
Yeah, if you roll badly, you forget that there's a wiki, and you just randomly Google Bloodstar.
It's Bloodstar. Yeah. Oh, it's a drink.
Bloodstar.
In which games will this wiki exist?
A very good question. And
It's
for
gotta
that,
exist in academia. It's
Yeah,
gotta.
definitely.
we'll see. But they don't get the internet in there. And on that note, thank you all.
I do have.
Oh,
sorry, I have
please.
one last thing. I will Manzuka something because it just happened and it is superhero related.
Okay.
Guys, if you like video games, the Spider-Man 2 footage that they premiered today, that's like a 15-minute long action sequence where you are swapping between different spider people. It is insane looking. So I highly recommend if you like video games and you like Spider-Man, watch that.
I don't watch trailers or anything, so that I'm always surprised and happy when I go in. But I'm so excited.
I was already jazzed about this game, and I was like, oh, they've taken everything they did and just upped it to the nth degree. It looks so good.
I might need to watch you play that one too, KJ.
Okay.
So on that note, thank you all so much. This is great. I love having Topflight back together, even though one of your members is currently 12,000 people on an island. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. Despite the darkness you find yourself in and the unhinged anti-hero with guns and a broken backpack, plus the king of the yeets,
Dirty.
have a top night.